Hi, my name is Jamie, and this is my Anthropology 418 final project submission titled Apples for Months, Preparation Through Preservation. This is my Auntie Debbie, and she'll be helping us today. We'll be focusing on apple canning, as apples are an abundant resource in our community. Today, we've foraged our jars from various people through the community, friends and family. Our apples have come from various different places, such as the food bank and also from family. Our different things, such as sugar and cinnamon and our lemon juice, were procured through the dollar store as well as superstore, so everything was pretty cheap to get today, which is good because canning is often misunderstood as a very expensive way of preserving food, but it's not if you are able to find your jars throughout the year and find all your other things for cheap in places like the dollar store.
Okay, so what we've discovered through our apples, so the ones that we were actually given, all of them, was that we have three different kinds here. We have a Gala apple, a Macintosh apple, and an Ambrosia apple here. We'll be using all three of them for three different kinds of things today. Usually the way that the apples go is that at the beginning of the year your apple is a softer apple, so any softer apple would be better used for, say, apple sauce or apple butter, as it's easier to cook up. The second, as the year progresses, as the summer progresses and we go into the fall, the apple gets harder. And so those are the better apples to use, say, for apple pie filling, or apple, just canned apples, which are good to eat too. So those would be better used, say, in the middle or the end of the year. So today we have three different things that we've decided to do. One is the canned apple, and we've decided to use 500 milliliter jars for that, four of them. I like this size for the apple, canned apple, because it's a good way when you bring it out and you open it up, you have about 2 weeks that it can be put in your fridge before it's no longer good. So this is a good size to either use all in one serving or in a couple of servings.
We've also decided today to use 1 liter jars. These are wide mouth mason jars. These are going to be used for our apple pie filling. Generally, one liter jar of apple pie filling is used for one pie. So if you're using 500 milliliter jars, be sure to use 2 jars or to can 2 jars so that you'll be able to fill one whole pie. For the apple pie filling, we'll be using Ambrosia and Macintosh apples.
And then the last thing that we've decided to do today is the applesauce. Applesauce I like because you can take the applesauce and you can make it into apple butter at another point. Anytime later on in the year you can just pick it up and you can make your apple butter. So today we've decided to use the 500 milliliter wide mouth jar. You have to be careful when you're going to the store and you're buying your lids for your jars that you have both wide mouth and regular lids, and wide mouth and regular jars. So when you go to the store, usually the regular, it fits both the 500 milliliter and the 250 milliliter, so it can be used for both jars, but sometimes the 500 milliliter and the 1 liter comes in wide mouth, so you're going to need different lids for that. So we're going to do 2 with the 500 milliliter and 1 with the 250 milliliter. I like the 250 milliliter sizes. They're also good for making jams at home. If you make jam at home, they're a good size. They last, again, when you take it out of the fridge, it'll have about a life of about 2 weeks in your fridge. And you want to use just a little bit at a time. So from here, what we're going to do now, our next step, is to clean all of our jars and to wash our apples first, take all of our stems off and do all that, and then we're going to cut up the apples. So we'll get started on that now. welcome back. We have our jars already sterilized and in the oven. We put them on at 225 degrees for 20 minutes. And now we've got them turned down. We must keep them warm, so we've got them turned down and all ready for us now to fill them up with some wonderful things. So the first thing that I've got here is the apple pie filling. And what we need to do is we need to get our filling ready. It needs to sit for approximately 30 minutes, so that's what I'm doing here. So what I've got here is the rest of the apples too. And so our apples, we've cut them all up, usually in 1/4 inch, or some of them are chunks, depending on the apple itself. Some of them, if they're really hard apples, then you want to do smaller slices, and so then they don't take as long to cook and are the same as others if you're putting in different types of apples into one applesauce or apple pie filling is what we've got here. So what we've got is lemon. Lemon juice is a really good, wonderful thing when you're doing anything with apples. I just put water in and I throw some lemon juice in. Here, I don't know, we've used up that much, so maybe 1/2 cup of lemon juice. And for all of this water here and all of these apples to keep them from getting brown. These will keep it from they won't get brown too easily at all with the air. So we've got that, we've got them all set up, and now what I'm doing is my apple pie filling. So I've got 3 pints of apples, which I believe should fit the 2 1-liter jars that we've got for our apple pie filling. And I've got here 1 1/4 cup of sugar. I've done that on the ratio that we use for how sweet we want our apple products is really what it is. The more you use, the sweeter it's going to be. The less you use, of course, the more tart it's going to be. I like to go on the side of let's use as little sugar as possible, but you do need the sugar in order to bring out the natural flavors and juices of the apple itself. So it's not something that we can skimp on or just do away with. We do need it. The other that I have here is 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Again, you do that to taste. That really depends on what it is that you like and how much you like. You can also put nutmeg in it with your cinnamon. That depends, again, just on you and taste. I like to just have my cinnamon. I'm not a big nutmeg person, so that's usually what I do. Then I'm just going to go over here. The last ingredient that we're going to do is our lovely lemon. We're going to need 1 tablespoon of the lemon too, and that again is going to help with the browning of the apples, and it will also bring out the natural juices of the apple itself. So that's why we put that in there. And so that's it. Was in there. We've just got the sugar, the apple, cinnamon, and then the lemon juice. That's all we're going to need. And then we're just going to stir it all up and let it sit for about 30 minutes. And then after that 30 minutes, we're going to give it a cook. But for now, we're just going to let it sit for 30 minutes. Thank you.